Hey guys, I'm doing a timing belt job on my 1999 Toyota 4runner, and if you are doing a timing belt job on this vehicle as well, or you're considering doing it, one of the big hurdles is loosening and tightening the crankshaft bolt. To loosen it, some people put a breaker bar on it and rest it against one of the frame rails and then hit the starter, and that will work most of the time, but I have heard some horror stories where people actually break their crankshaft doing that, so definitely do that at your own risk. And I used my DeWalt electric impact, and I was actually able to get it off. I had to remove the radiator and I had to loosen up the condenser and kind of move that back a little bit. But if you have air tools, it would probably fit in there a lot easier. But when you're putting things back together, tightening it to the proper torque spec is absolutely critical. And there's actually a special tool that you can get. I got this on Amazon. It didn't cost that much. And this will hold the crankshaft pulley. However, I did have to modify it a little bit. I ground down the sides, and that may just be because mine's a little bit rusty and rust kind of expands a little bit, so it didn't quite fit in there. But these holes made up with those holes, and it's a nice fit, and it's just got a 1/2 inch thing that you could put a breaker bar or a big ratchet on there, and then you're able to loosen it or tighten it without spinning the crankshaft. My repair instructions say the crank bolt is supposed to be torqued down to 300 newton meters or 217 foot-pounds. I believe originally on this motor the torque spec was like 180 foot-pounds or something, but Toyota was having issues with them coming loose, so they changed the torque spec. But it's absolutely critical that you torque it down to the correct spec, or else you'll have a really messed up day when you least expect it. All right, we'll go ahead and slide on the crank pulley. We're gonna really have to make sure that the key lines up with this little notch. And fortunately, I did not have to use a puller tool on this. I was able to just wiggle it loose. There we go. To get that key, it won't want to go in until you spin it around, and then at some point it'll mate up and slide right in. You just really want to make sure it mates up with that key. Be sure to thread the crank bolt in by hand, at least a few threads, and then I'll just run it down with my little small impact. Install the special tool, and I might have taken a little bit too much off around the sides on this, but you want it to kind of fit snugly, but you do want it to fit in there. Install my Harbor Freight extendable ratchet. I would rest it against the frame rail, but there's a wire right here, and I could remove this 10mm, but it's kind of rusty, so I will probably break it, and I don't have to deal with that right now. I got my big 1/2 inch torque wrench set to about 300 newton meters. It's 5 over, but that's not really gonna do anything. These are not 100% accurate anyways. Make sure you're wearing safety glasses, just in case something goes crazy wrong. All right, there we go. It's torqued. I didn't break the ratchet, and it doesn't look like I bent that at all. I always like to double check these kind of things. That should not be coming off. And of course, you can do the same thing to loosen it as well. Just don't use a torque wrench to loosen anything. Use a big breaker bar. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you found this useful. I'll be sure to link to the tools down below in case you want to check them out. I'm not making a full timing belt video on this because there's already so many out there, but I just thought this part would be useful for a lot of people to show what tool you really should have to do the job right. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later. Peace out.